Expansion starts here, the podcast. My name is Rhett Butler, Marketing and Communications Manager for Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. And today, I had to take the glasses off for this one. Today, we're talking about what? EmpowerHER Global Business Summit. And I have two folks that are going to bring something totally unique to any conference experience you've ever had. I have Alexis Allen Shorter, Business Development Director of Health and Life Science for Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation, and of course, none other than Tiffany Jones, owner and therapist, Psychache Solutions, LLC. Ladies, how are you today?
Thanks for pronouncing that correctly.
Oh, come on now. We went to school for all this. Solutions. I think what you guys are doing is amazing for a few reasons. Not because you guys are at the top of your game in medical and in therapy, but I wanted to say that mindfulness and wellness are two things that I think amid all of the business, networking, and connections, people are not realizing they need to balance out all the gains. And you folks are bringing that to EmpowerHER for the second year in a row.
Yes.
Alexis, you got to talk about the curation. You did this last year. What was your biggest takeaway from the conversation?
The biggest takeaway from last year is that wellness isn't a luxury for the entrepreneur.
Right.
It's essential. Got to be able to make sound decisions.
That's right.
And you need to take time for yourself.
Absolutely. Tiffany, as a mental health professional and a business owner, right? So you're super empowered at EmpowerHER. Why do you believe mental wellness is such a critical conversation for entrepreneurs today?
Mental wellness is a critical conversation for entrepreneurs today because it directly correlates to sustainability of us as entrepreneurs, but also the sustainability of our businesses. So mental wellness has to deal with how we feel, think, function, and connect. And so when you think about resilience in the business world, or even emotional resilience for the entrepreneur, entrepreneurs have such a unique set of demands that they have to balance. They have to be able to quickly adapt to change. Right. And mental wellness promotes all those things. So you think about the opposite of good mental wellness. We're talking about burnout, we're talking about overwhelm, and just being exhausted. And sometimes you can succumb to those things before your business even gets off the ground.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think we all felt that. And I think you guys are supplying something that people normally don't receive in conferences like this. So it's amazing. But you said resilience. So I want to make sure everybody's clear that this is not just wellness and mindfulness. This has a whole tagline. The Resilient Leaders Roadmap, Building Strength Through Business Challenges, moderated by Alexis Allen Shorter. And you have two other panelists. You have Madden Jones, founder and owner of Love Madden and Love Goods, and also Sherry Roberts Lumpkin, executive director, Rag Baby Exchange. Alexis, you curate this so well. What role do you see mental health and wellness playing in the broader conversation around economic development?
Well, mental health and wellness are fundamental to economic growth. A great economy is based on employees that are able to take mental health days. Their employers find good in them taking time to do good in the community service, mental health days, and overall health and wellness.
That's lovely. And it's interesting because and I've never been at any economic development centric conference where anybody talks that way. Mindfulness is at the key. Tiffany, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs looking to start or scale a business in the mental health industry? And I know you're more looked at as the expert to help them kind of break through. But let's say somebody's looking at what you do and saying, maybe that's for me, and I didn't have the courage until they saw you on that panel.
Absolutely. Another excellent question. So listen, you're going to hear it time and time again today, prioritizing yourself.
That's right.
And if you do that when you're building your business, if you learn how to practice self-care, take breaks, take time for yourself while you're building, by the time your business begins to grow, you can already have that habit in place so it won't be such a struggle.
Right.
The other thing that I would say is learn your own voice. A lot of times, it is so easy to look at others and become inundated with what they're doing, right?
Yes.
And comparison.
Social media.
Yeah, exactly. And comparison is the thief of joy. And I'm glad you brought up social media because some people, you may have a colleague or a friend who was killing it. They got all the likes, they got all the followers, and you may not be a social media person. You may build your business on personal referrals. So you need to be okay with operating in your authenticity and not turning into a version of someone else that is not true to you. And so you need to focus on cultivating the relationships that get you the personal referrals instead of trying to do something that's not really, in your wheelhouse.
Absolutely. And it's interesting. If you've never seen Tiffany Jones speak, you always have quotables. I always tell you this. What did you say? Something's the thief of joy. What'd you say?
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Message.
That's not mine. But
hey, listen.
Still applies.
We taking that. I want to go a little bit off script and say, you two are mothers as well. And I think a lot has to be said about the fact that you're speaking to an audience of women that are dynamic for multiple reasons. We're not superheroing everybody.
That's right.
We're not going to play Alicia Keys this time, sorry. But at the end of the day, as mothers, balancing business, balancing jobs, balancing all of this stuff, how do you guys manage this? And what do you think the audience will take from you guys? Because you're being platformed and you're showcasing that even though you're not perfect, you still know how to break through and make it all work.
Well, one of the things is I think that balance is really a fallacy in terms of entrepreneurship, and we hear that a lot. Like work.
Wait, that's another quotable. Balance is a fallacy. I'm calling everyone out.
And I am not every woman. I've heard Tiffany say that.
She's not every woman.
I am not every woman, and leave your cape at the door.
Oh,
absolutely. I think we need to focus more on work-life integration, and so. Kind of figuring out what the happy marriage is between the two.
Yes.
Not so that one spills over into the other, but just kind of like a happy medium. I think that's a more realistic goal than balance.
Absolutely. I love that. Alexis, as a moderator, what kind of response did you see from last year's attendees, and what do you think they're going to gain this year from this dynamic panel? And I know you did a little bit of a modification on the way you're doing this year.
Yeah, so last year the energy was undeniable. They were lined up for questions, there were tears, there were hugs. It was a sense of relief to be seen, to be understood, and to have someone to ask questions to, and just to get mindfulness tools to help you throughout the day.
Absolutely. What do you hope people gain from this mindfulness and wellness panel that you two are going to present? Tiffany.
I hope people gain the courage to pause. And I spoke about pause last year, actually, and the P stood for prioritizing yourself.
Okay.
And the A was assessing your own needs, learning how to check in with your body. Does your shoulder hurt? Is your eye twitching? What, looking for those warning signs of burnout early.
Literally listening to your physicality.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
The U was for unplugging and disconnecting, learning how to close your laptop, turn off your phone, use that wonderful function of do not disturb at a certain time of day. Mm-hmm. And then as practices of self-compassion, it's really, really hard in the entrepreneur journey to not put additional pressure on yourself.
Absolutely.
And so learning how to do that, and I just define grace as, accountability plus compassion. We need that for ourselves as well as others. And then the E was for engaging in activities that you enjoy. So figuring out what it is. I think last year I even asked somebody what their hobby was, and they didn't even know. You know what I mean? And that's not a dig to them.
Yeah.
It's just that they've been listening to the culture, grinding, listening to things like sleep while you're dead and secure the bag, which all those things are absurd, but we hear them all the time.
Indeed.
So learning what to pause. And you can do anything in that pause. Meditate, pray, go on vacation,
love it.
Still, just be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alexis, what do you hope people gain from this?
That they learn to just breathe.
Yes.
Take some of these tools and grow their business, because expansion starts here.
Because expansion starts here. You heard it. And they're experts, and they're being mindful with these statements. I want to read what EmpowerHER Global Business Summit is in case you are slow. It is presented by the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation and designed to equip women entrepreneurs, executives, and professionals with the tools, strategies, and connections needed to thrive in today's evolving business landscape. Through a dynamic lineup of expert-led workshops, industry panels, and networking opportunities, our attendees will gain practical insights into leadership, marketing, funding, global expansion, business resilience, and mindfulness and wellness. Thank you to Tiffany Jones and Alexis Allen Shorter. Expansion truly starts here.